Massive breaking news. Trump announces war on Iran. I'm going to break down in this video how unbelievably important this is, life-changing for you, around the financial implications of what was just announced. At 12:47 a.m., Trump announced full-scale war on Iran. Now I'm going to focus on the macro, microeconomic, and the financial implications, and I'm going to tie back to historical patterns. And I'm going to share with you how we are protecting our family's ecosystem. I'm going to stay in my lane. None of this is financial advice. I'm only sharing with you my study of patterns, historical patterns, spiritually, physically, and financially. Ray Dalio's Changing World Order, the fourth turning, the 36-year cycle that just ended, moved us from financialization, debt expansion, from centralization to decentralization. Ray Dalio's Changing World Order, where he studies the fall and rise of superpowers that always end up, in a massive economic change in a financial system. So get a pen and paper out. Get ready to understand how this cycle works. Do your own research. You got to pay attention because you're paying for your attention. Around 1930, our parents went into their crisis stage, the Great Depression, which completely destroyed them economically and pulled us deeper into centralized banking. 1913, the Federal Reserve was created, not federal nor reserve. Since the Federal Reserve was created, dollars collapsed 96 to 97%. They went into a massive crisis stage financially. Then World War II came, and after World War II, a new economic order came in, a new world order. There's not by chance that Ray Dalio's post he just did recently has almost 80 million views. People are ready to understand this. So they came back after World War II. The BIS was created. The IMF was created. The World Bank was created. America became the world's reserve currency. Bretton Woods. We went into a new economic order. They packaged up for our grandparents, the middle class, which was packaged in safety, predictability, pensions, the American dream, got a home, a car, you can borrow against your future self. Go to school, get a job, get a good pension, stick with a company for 30, 40 years. Compliance. This is where it gets important for you to understand. 1971, we detached from the gold standard, making our money fake. Back into the 70s, went into super high inflation. Went into Reaganomics, and by 1988 to 1990, this is the 36-year cycle, is we went into full financialization. That's when money got detached from reality, and now we caught this ball. The wealth gap started to become massive. Then by 2000s, Clinton brought in subprime mortgages where people with lesser credit profiles could get a mortgage, shaking the housing market, started the ripple in the housing market. Now this is really important. In 2006, started our crisis stage. 2006 to 2008, we went into our biggest financial collapse. Our grandparents was 1913 to World War II. Ours was 2008 to 2009, which 2009 started our crisis stage, which is 2009 to 2030. I've been sharing with you exactly what's going to happen. Save this video and come back to this after 2030. So our crisis stage started in 2009. Bitcoin was created in 2009, right after the biggest financial collapse in history for us. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa came together to de-dollarize. By 2012, Ripple was created, which created XRP, a new bridge currency for a new form of monetary system. Bitcoin, a new form of gold for a new form of monetary system. Our crisis stage ends in 2030, which takes us into the new world order. There's 5 economic factors that Ray Dalio talks about. There's 4 factors that come about before war and bullets fly. And as he announced at 12:47 last night, the bullets are going to fly, which is going to pull us into the new world order after 2030, which is going to be your new economic system. The 5 war narratives are tech war, capital war, trade war, geopolitical, and then bullets fly. Well, this morning we just hit the 5th, which brings us into the transition to the new world order. Now, I'm just staying focused on what I understand. I understand money, macro, microeconomics implications. I understand the Federal Reserve, I understand inflation, and I know how to position my money in regards to these transitions. We studied exactly how they move through the system every single time this happens, but you have to understand patterns. Please allow me just to express the financial implications of this, trying to empower you to understand this. So now last night, we went into number 5. Usually there's one that changes things. We have all 5 present in our timeline, all 5. Trade wars, geopolitical, technological, and now war. Remember, Trump promised you a peacetime president, we weren't going to war. But that's the next step in the changing world order. Study Ray Dalio's Changing World Order. Large debts, printing of money, social and geopolitical chaos, and then war, civil war and revolution. We just hit the last number in the cycle. So remember, our grandparents' crisis stage was 1930 to World War II. They hit World War II, and when they came back from World War II, they're in a brand new financial system. Our crisis stage ends in 2030. So now, on this date, February 28th, 12:47 a.m., Trump just took us into the last stage. When we wake up from this last stage, we will be in a new monetary system. Let me take you back. Bitcoin was created in 2009 when our crisis stage started. Ripple was created in 2012. Ripple changes the way money moves through the system. Bitcoin changes the way value moves and how value is stored. Blockchain technology rewires the whole infrastructure. Just like the BIS, IMF started to change the rules for a new monetary system. So this is a massive historical post right now. You are experiencing a changing world order. So what you can expect is the unexpected in the financial markets. But what you should learn is how to navigate through this. What you should learn is why Bitcoin is being stacked by some of the wealthiest people in the world. What you should learn is why gold and silver is at an all-time high. What you should learn is why people use insurance to protect their principal through these economic times. Here's what I believe is going to happen. Okay, here's what I believe is going to happen. We're now going into number 5, full-scale war. During that time, as you look this way, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. The reason why Trump came back and ran as the crypto capital of the world, the Bitcoin president. There's a reason why he created the Stablecoin Act. Stablecoins are outside of the centralized system, they're peer-to-peer. There's a reason why he had Bo Hines pull Tether into America, which is a stablecoin, the number one stablecoin, 90% of the stablecoin market. There's a reason why he created World Liberty Financial and USD1, a stablecoin. There's a reason why Ripple created RLUSD, stablecoin. There's a reason why USDC is connected to Circle, BlackRock. Stablecoins are part of the new monetary system. They're outside the centralized system. The Genius Act, Genius. So Trump positioned himself with his own stablecoin through WLFI. They brought USAT into America, which is Tether, which is 90% stablecoin market. And what do stablecoins use? US Treasuries. The US dollar was in an all-out free fall. The central banks are stacking gold over US Treasuries, and he's trumped everybody with the stablecoin. Now we have the Clarity Act. Clarity Act? What's that for? To give new rules to the banks around the new financial system. Are you following me now? The new system is allocating parts of portfolios into cryptocurrency. Things like XRP, Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum. They'll be done through ETFs. Banks asking to do institutional grade custody for your crypto. The very bankers that told you to run from this are going to be begging you to move your crypto to the bank. We ended the 30-year cycle from centralization to decentralization, from financialization, debt, and credit expansion, back to production. Here's how I position myself. Is I don't focus on cash, it's trash. I focus on cash flow. I take my income, here's what I mean by cash flow, is I put it into things that generate money while I sleep. An example is you can buy stocks that pay you without doing anything. So every time I get paid, I make sure it makes a brother or sister. Number 2 is I don't have lifestyle creep. I take the income and cash flow, I put it into assets A that beat inflation to navigate these economic times. I'm moving into assets that have fixed supply. Every time I profit, now I'm showing you the cycles, I pull profits on the table as everybody's trying to get rich quick. And I go into P, protection. I insure my money in cash value life insurance. I use things like silver, things like Bitcoin, things like Berkshire. And then when things like this happen and the markets go red, I buy assets that I believe are going to be here in the future. And DR is de-risk, de-risk, de-risk. So you're going to wake up in a new economic system. Bitcoin will be the new gold. Blockchain technology will be the infrastructure. Things like distributed ledger technology, XRP, XLM, HBAR, things like that, be the new way you do business. Have to study. Have to become a warrior in a garden versus a gardener in a war. Remember, you need to pay attention because you're paying for your attention. So this is a historical video, a historical announcement. We're now finishing out our crisis stage. When you wake up in 2030, you'll be in a brand new system. Warriors, rise! Get your shit together. I know I am.